Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome. Bienvenidos to Susie the Peruvian Cook. I'm Susie. Today we're going to be making ceviche. Today we're going to concentrate on ceviche de pescado. This is one of my favorites. It's super simple, it's delicious, and doesn't take very long to make. Okay, so first I have here some gorgeous red snapper. Okay, so you want to make sure that you use a fish that's from the ocean. Okay, we don't use freshwater fish. Show you what's in it. We're going to do red onion. We're going to do rocoto. So these are rocotos from my garden, and as you can see, the seeds are black, which are awesome. But you don't want to eat them because they're tough and they're super spicy. So what we're going to do is we're going to just get our rocotos ready.
What do you use if you don't have rocoto?
Oh, thank you. So if you don't have rocoto, no problem. You can use, I would suggest serranos. Serranos are spicier than jalapenos usually. So if you don't like too much spice, you can do a jalapeno. I like to use the serranos when they've turned color. So like if they turn a nice red color, then I use that. So what we're going to do is we're going to slice them up. And so the onion is always done very, very thin. And what I like to do is I like to just keep it in cold ice water until I need it. And then that way when you put it in with your ceviche, like right before serving, the onions are nice and crunchy. Okay, so, and you can put it in, earlier. It doesn't have to be like right before serving. Okay, so we want them thin like that. We're going to put this in here. We're going to get some ice. I want to get gorgeous ice for my bourbon instead, because to pick all those little ice cubes out is kind of a pain. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this gorgeous ice cube. Just stick it in there, and that way it's easy to take out when the time comes. All right, so now that's out of the way. So now you're going to feel around. You want to feel around and just make sure you get any bones out. They say it's filleted, but is it really? It never really actually totally is. So feel around, get those bones out. You don't want to like kill your friends or family because they choke on a bone. So let's make sure we get those out. But I'm going to show you how to cut it. Okay. Now, cut some lines here. And then we are going to we're going to cube our ceviche that actually cooks chemically with your lime juice. So here's our lime juice. You just layer it in. You want to coat it. You don't have to cover it. I'm going to add a little bit more because when we're done, we usually like drinking the juice, and they call it leche de tigre. Okay, so we're going to put salt, a couple teaspoons. Pepper. This is freshly ground pepper that I just ground. I'm going to add my peppers. It takes about an hour to really cook properly with the lime juice and everything. Now some people, they do lemon, lime, and a tiny bit of orange juice, freshly squeezed orange juice. Today, I'm just making it straight with lime juice. Okay, one of the things we add to this is culantro or cilantro. With a cilantro or culantro, you're not going to use the whole thing. You're just going to use maybe an eighth of a cup. You don't even want a fourth of a cup. You just want enough to be able to slice it up here. Yeah, you don't want a bunch of stems in here. You don't have to go through and pick everything out. Normally, I would pick, my leaves off ahead of time.
Didn't your mother make you and your cousins pick cilantro leaves until you wanted to die?
Yes, oh my goodness. I'm sure my cousins remember. They'd say, niñas! And we'd come to the kitchen, sí, mama, culantro. I'm like, oh, man. And they couldn't just have like one bunch. I mean, no, I'm not kidding. There was like 20 of these that we used to sit down, and they didn't want any stem. So we had to sit down, pull them apart, take the stems, and pull off every single leaf. My mom, I tell my mom, I remind her of that now. She's like, bah, come on. I'm like, you did. You don't remember this? I mean, come on. We had to sit there. We were like for an hour. But the funny thing is, We got to visit. We were talking. Everyone's cooking in the kitchen. My cousins and I are on the counter, sitting at the counter. We're doing this culantro, and we're picking all the cilantro off the stems. And it was really fun memories, actually. We had a great time. And now, you know what's so funny is I come home, and what I do for resting, I sit down, I get a couple bowls, and I pick cilantro. I'm like, they turned me into a monster. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to chop our cilantro. Okay. So this is nice and beautiful. It's not chopped to death. It's nice and small. There we go. You notice there's no stain here from the cilantro. That means I didn't go too far. If you see a stain, you went too far. One of the things that they serve with this on the side is choclo and sweet potato or camote. And you want a nice little chunk in there. I've already boiled this, so it's perfectly done. You can find it frozen at a lot of the Hispanic stores. They will have that. And then I have my camote. Okay, so your sweet potato, I wrap it in foil and bake it. Probably for this, I do several at a time. Hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. You don't want it squishy. You want it to be nice and firm, but cooked, obviously. Okay, so we're going to peel this. There we go. And we're just going to peel. And again, you want to wait till they're nice and cool before you peel them, because your hands are going to scream. Yeah, been there, done. I've done that before too. So in Peru, they serve a nice piece. You want a piece of camote. At some of the restaurants here, they serve you like this much. And I'm like, hey, seriously? So no, you don't want this much. You want a nice chunk of your camote. Because, you know, remember what you have in the ceviche, you have a lot of lemon, lime flavor, which is delicious. But that camote just gives you the little bit of sweetness that this makes this dish so fabulous. Okay, so like a good piece. Okay, go 1 second. Okay, don't judge me. It's 5 o'clock in Bangkok. Okay, there we go. And okay, there we go. That one came out quite nice. There we go. Okay, so now you have this on the side, ready to go for when you serve it. Okay.
But you need to wait till your fish cooks a little longer.
Yeah, I'm going to save some for the top, but I am going to put some of them in with, because that you want the flavors in your. So I am going to save this. The rest of this is going to go on top for later, and it's going to be nice and crunchy. Okay, so we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back when this is ready to serve. Okay. Okay, so now we're back after about 90 minutes, and look at how beautiful this ceviche has turned out. And now all we have to do now is just get ready to serve it. We're going to add a little cilantro and just kind of mix that in a little bit. You don't have to have tons, just a little bit. And if you want to do this ahead of time, you can, you know, to get those flavors in there, that's fine too. But it did refrigerate for 90 minutes, just to let you know. Okay, so I'm going to put some more in there. I've got a few more.
I thought you wanted to save it for what's on top.
I am saving some for on top. Aye. Okay, now you see that's more of a purplish color. Okay, very pretty. So now that fish has marinated in there. I really like it with red snapper. The flavor is just so much better. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put it on our plate. And this is how I would serve like one serving. I would serve it like this. Get that right down the middle. And we're going to just kind of pile it on top like that. I'm going to put just a couple of onions on top, a tiny bit of cilantro on top, our choclo, and a nice beautiful piece of our camote. So this would be considered an appetizer. It's delicious by itself. It's like a little meal. When you take a bite, you need to have a bite of the sweet potato, that camote, with your fish and some of the juices. Absolutely delicious. You really need a spoon and a fork to eat this with. I'm gonna take a bite of our choclo. Don't forget to like the video. I hope you like it. Remember to subscribe, because I got a lot of drinks to make. I got a lot of food to make. I got a lot of desserts to make. And I got a lot of stories to tell. You guys have a great one. Ciao, ciao.